delay. However, you will join us midway through China. Apologies, we've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight, but nevertheless we will continue. So we are here on lap number 5 in China. We see Grant already making swift progress up the field, just making the move on M. Willis. Goes for the inside, then the outside line round sector 1. Tight section of the circuit here. China, a very technical circuit, 3 sectors 1 there, and he makes his way onto the podium, and he'll be having yet another battle, I should say, with NUFC fan Liam in that bright orange McLaren. A good battle with those guys in Belgium. Unfortunately, like we said, we had some stream difficulties, but Liam was looking quick in Spa. Will he look as quick in Belgium, and will he be able to defend from the Slydog Racing League current champion? So we see there as well at the bottom of the screen, race control, Osborne running a 3-second penalty for track limits. Yellow flag, sector 2. Not quite sure what's going on there. Doesn't seem to be a car stopped on circuit, so we continue racing. No safety car, no VSC deployed, as they file their way down the back straight now. 3 abreast as we run into the final corner. James Punt just going to make the most of the braking. Brakes deep, allowing M. Willis back up the inside. Rados going to move in on there as well. No, not quite. I think he's just out of range. He's diving into pit lane anyway, so expect to see him jump back out on the mediums. He's going to lose a couple of positions because of that, but will it be a tactical one? We also see Butters diving into the pit lane, so that means that at the moment, following, I think he's made a pit stop already. No, he is yet to stop. Grant is our net leader at the moment, followed by M. Willis in the Racing Point. James Punt Mercedes, who is right on the gearbox of Willis, in second place, and Chatty Duck's Ferrari not far off, just 0.8 of a second behind as he closes in under brake, and we ride on board with him now as he follows this battle down into sector 2. So now the big, almost flat out 6th, 7th gear left-hander, heavy braking ready, because this right-hander really tightens up on the exit. He can catch a lot of people out, but he holds it well, catches right in onto the back of James Punt there. Remember, China here is a 2 DRS zone circuit, and they're about, all 3 cars now about to head round into the next DRS zone. Long right hander here. You want to be shifting up through the gears, trying to get as much traction out of the exit of this corner as possible. And it looks like Chatty's going to have the run on James, and he's going to have DRS. Looks like James also gets the DRS on M. Willis, but is Chatty going to have enough to get the move done? I think he is. He's going to brake. He's going to brake late, and he gets a beautiful turn in. Great rotation on the car there to get the move done into the final couple of corners. So meanwhile, we're going to look further back now. It's worthwhile saying that Chatty Duck Canadian is up 11 places along with Grant. Up 14 places on the grid. He started P15, so he's now up 14 places. I was making notes when the stream died, so I'm just going to run you through there. The lap 1 of this race, we did have a little bit of a chaotic start, a little bit of a pile up, not massive, just a few bits of carbon fibre laying here, there, and everywhere on the circuit. Butters led for the first few laps. Trem followed up in second. I think there was a little bit of damage there, unfortunately, for newcomer Ethan Patterson. And Vicky as well suffered a little bit of damage, but Ethan and Vicky both pit for that under the VSC. Trem pit on about lap 4, dropping him to P14, so we've then seen him jump all the way back to P6 following the other related strategy stops. Big movers, so we see Grant 14 places, Chatty Duck 11 places, and then moving down the order there we see ZGS in the Alpha Tauri. The Alpha Tauri boys has been a bit quiet tonight, although B Wheeler did put in a very impressive and underrated, I must say, an underrated performance in the first race, which did in fact earn him driver of the day in Belgium. I was able to watch the majority of the race. Commentary, bit of an issue, but as I say, you'll see this on on repeat. We'll upload this to the Slydog channel as well. We will try and get it on there as soon as possible. But either way, we see James Punt make the move, heading down into the final couple of corners of Sector 3. Runs a bit wide. ZGS back up the inside as they now power down to the final corners. Punt's going to have the inside line, but ZGS holding it strong on the outside, uses all of the width of the track, gets ahead of him. James is going to have the DRS, but look who's behind them. Just going to buy into it. Albert, is he going to be able to make a move? James Punt can't get the move done. ZGS, some great defensive work, but will he run wide? Albert runs into the rear end, gets a bit of a slide on as he comes across the grass, won't lose out on a position, but it will be close. He's going to drop back off the rear of him. Dare I say it, there was a little bit of a gap there. I don't have a co-commentator to bounce that off of currently, but this is quite the battle going on here. ZGS, a very, very defensive drive from him at the moment. Got to watch where he positions that car, and he's going to make it look like a London bus on the circuit out here in Shanghai. Meanwhile, we see Lanarkam having yet another great race, up 9 places in his Mercedes, right on the back end of N. Willis as they head down the DRS zone. He's going to get a run on those medium tyres down into the final couple of corners. Laid on the brakes, gets it done, holds it tight. N. Willis once again going for that cutback. He's going to get... Oh, nope, he's not quite got the run out of that turn there, but he's going to follow into the next DRS zone, probably get DRS. So it'll be a case of if he's following close enough. As we see, Grant dives into pit on lap number 9. He pits in for those medium tyres, dropping himself to P4 with a current 20 seconds dropping gap to Butters in the Renault, who should in fact come out just behind him. I would have thought he'll be right behind Grant. Yes, he is. We're right on board with him now. He's right behind Grant as they go around Sector 1. Pit stop wise, so looking at stops, we've seen everyone but ZGS 23 is the lowest down, running P11 currently without a stop. So he's trying to defend heavily, but it looks like James Punt and Albert have both gotten past him in the meantime. Top 3 drivers, as you see on the screen on the left hand side there, haven't pitted yet. Slydog, Lanarkam and M. Willis all yet to stop this race. So you would see currently, I would say Grant is still your net leader as we run along with Butters. Running on those medium tyres, just picking up a little bit of the dirt there on the inside, running round. I think he's going to hit that final back straight. A little bit out of touch of Grant there by around 2.8 seconds. So Grant will now be on the chase of N. Willis. Looking further back then, let's see if we can find some battles that are occurring a little bit further back. We've got Albert still having a little look at James Punt. He's just within range there. He's got the DRS. That rear wing is open as you see him run down to the final couple of corners here. He's going to try and close in right onto James's Mercedes gearbox there, but will he get a run out of the next DRS zone? We will have to see as he takes the last corner there really quite smoothly, gets a decent run. We see that rear wing open up on the Mercedes as they head down into turn 1. What can he do? Rear wing closes up. Slydog is just there, P7. Albert runs a little bit wider than he would have liked. He's going to go for the wide in, tight out approach on this corner. I've tried it myself, and to be fair, it can work. You've just got to watch out not to get a bit unstuck on the inside curb there on the exit. But they run down now to the hairpin that's about to start Sector 2. There we go. So Sector 2 underway now for these boys. As we see, my co-commentator has also joined the session again. He's having a few issues this evening, so we'll let him off for that one. It's been a little while since we've had an issue, but Albert dramatically chasing after James Punt because now he realises he is in the middle of the biggest Mercedes sandwich we will see here. Lanarkam looming up behind Albert in that racing point. And Lanarkam, may I add, is on the soft tyre as we see Albert looking towards the inside. He's going to try and get a lot of traction. He gets up the inside of James Punt. So does teammate Lanarkam. Gets a great run off that corner. James Punt drops 2 places in 1 there. Lanard now making the double overtake. It looks like it's going to be a great run down the back straight there. He's got a good Oh, he's got a fantastic run on the DRS zone as well. He's going to brake late, get in on that turn, that final couple of corners there here in Shanghai, and he takes 2 positions away there. Albert feeling like he's made a position that has taken him such a long time to accomplish. He's got past one Mercedes, but he's lost out to another. Meanwhile, we see Grant has taken the lead of the race and is quite comfortably a 5.5 second gap, so this could be 2 from 2. Meanwhile, we see Mogi at the bottom there DNFing. I don't quite know what happened, whether that was a lap 1 failure for him, but it's such a shame. He's had a poor evening, unfortunately. You know, he's been doing really well in that Williams, and it's such a shame to see him have 2 DNFs in a row. But this is motorsport, ladies and gentlemen. This is esports. This is what happens. So, meanwhile, running up the order here, we see a great battle here between Trem and Chatty Duck in the Ferrari. Chatty now trying to get himself back up the order as he goes to the outside. Trem looking defensive on the inside. We're going to get a great shot of him here as they break into that zone very tight. Chatty Duck going to have the inside line. Gets it right up the inside of Trem there. And Trem also loses out to Landercam as well. Landercam is on an absolute mission here. What a fantastic drive. We're seeing some great moves. He's coming out of nowhere. Trem looking like he's got the DRS there. He's got right in behind. Look how close he's running to the back of that Mercedes. Is he going to go for that late break? A big lock up there from Chatty Duck. Trem drives really deep into that corner there. Landercam's going to get the exit. Trem might try and hold it up the inside. He won't get that job done, but Landercam will escape down the start-finish straight now as we enter lap number 12. Another man who's looming behind. This has been one hell of a battle around the midsection of this circuit. We see Albert just on the rear end of the second Red Bull. Obviously, both Red Bulls here wanting to try and earn some points. Albert's front wing right into the rear end of Trem there. He's running tight. Trem's going to try and make that as wide as he can, going through those twisty turns in Sector 1 there as they dive down towards the end, down towards that hairpin that enters Sector 2. Just a couple more laps to go as we look at M. Willis, who's currently running P4 still and is yet to stop on the soft tyre. He's got, as I say that though, he has lost out a position there to Joseph Rados, so I think tyre wear is going to be becoming a big problem as we see Chatty Duck. We ride on board with Chatty there, equally on soft tyres, easily doing him into the braking zone there. Maybe pushing the track limits a little bit on the inside there. But yeah, another driver there popping up down the bottom of race control. Both Trem and Butler picking up a 3-second penalty. Butler, someone who's had such a great few races here with the Slydog Racing League, yet both Williams not seemingly having a great week here as we ride on board with M. Willis in those 11 lap old softs as he tries to put up the defence from Landercam, but Landercam once again in that Mercedes on a mission as we see M. Willis tries to fight back up the inside, lights those rear wheels up. I think those tyres are just about gone as he dives down into pit lane. So Albert, teammate, will take that position. Such a shame there. M. Willis, I must admit, has done a fantastic job to keep those softs going for at least 12 laps. But we start lap 13 now. Grant opening up that position. But what a result this is going to be for Butters if he can hold off from NUFC Fan Liam, because we see further up the field NUFC Fan Liam on those 6 lap old hards are really giving it to Butters here as they run into Sector 2. Slight wheel spin there from Butters as he picks up a 3-second time penalty. Let's have a little look at the penalties. Both drivers there, as you can see, running 3 seconds. And who's just outside of that 3-second margin, and yes, it's Joseph Morados, so he could find his Alfa Romeo getting back onto the podium as we look off the rear wing of Butters Renault as NUFC Fan Liam in that McLaren looms. Look how much he closes in on the braking zone. A little bit of wheel spin there potentially, but he's going to take a tight line, maybe try and get the traction from those hard tyres and try and really you know, buy in on the longevity of those tyres. Obviously they're a very hard wearing tyre there. He's going to get the DRS. He's half a second away, 0.5, 0.4 as we see that time come down. Butters moves across to cover that inside line, but NUFC Fan Liam looks like he's diving down the outside. Is he going to have enough there? No, not quite. He's going to want to stay on the rear end of Butters, which he does a very good job of. He should have the DRS now. Is he close enough to make a move? Remember, this second DRS zone is potentially not as long as you think, because it's quite an early braking zone for turn 1 here. You want to try and get on the brakes a little bit early, because you've got to remember you're banging down through the gears midpoint in the corner here to try and keep the traction, keep that car turning in nice and steady. But now he's seemingly dropped back, so we can see Butters is going to he's a little bit quicker through sector 1, it would seem. So is that where Liam's finding that his tyres are, you know, not quite got the edge on those mediums, just that get up and go? Because meanwhile behind him Chatty is on those soft tyres, and you listen to that Ferrari engine roar. He is a man on a mission, because not only is he got that position from Joseph Rados, who is just behind them, which unfortunately I missed, but now Joseph Rados has got Lanel Cam there for company. So there's going to be yet some big moves as we head into the final lap here. People are going to be wanting to get these moves done. Chatty Duck now looking like he's got to have a little look at the inside line of NUFC Family, and backs out of it as he felt that car was just not going to have the traction on those soft tyres to get round there as tight as he'd have liked. He's going to have DRS, but it's going to be a bit of a DRS train as we go into the final few corners. NUFC Family gets a bit of a slide on, dives down the inside of Butters. Is he going to get the move done? Is he going to push Butters wide? And Chatty Duck looking like he could get up the outside of Butters there. There could be a move yet to be had. Chatty pulls the inside line. He gets the inside line on Butters. Is he not going to quite do it? Butters crosses the line. Chatty Duck finishes in second due to penalties, and there's a big collision across the line as he slip slides. Joseph Rados once again finds through penalties. Butters and NUFC Fan Liam both losing out. Maybe that battle towards the end slowed them both down, just led them into the clutches there of Chatty and Joseph Rados. But unfortunately, that's the race end for them, so they will finish 4th and 5th respectively. So we're just looking through the finishes here. You've got Grant, who wins by a convincing 20.5 seconds near on. Joseph Rados finishing P3. NUFC Fan Liam P4 in the McLaren. Butters P5. Just behind, SRL Albert did manage to get that position back from Lanel Cam, who I believe picked up a 3-second track limits penalty. So the two Mercedes running P7 and P8. Trem P9, so picking up more very, very valuable points for that Red Bull team, and B Wheeler up to P10. So huge things here have happened, and you know, it's been a fantastic race. Very unfortunate to see some of the newcomers who were looking like they were showing massive promise in qualifying not quite do what they would have wanted to do, but there is always next week. And as usual, we see Grant looking extremely dominant here, taking the top step of the podium. So up from P15 to P1. I must say, one hell of a drive. Well, what I'd like to also say is I just want to apologise on behalf of myself and Tom here from the commentary team. You know, sometimes these things happen, and we do get a few technical issues, so let me be the first to apologise for that. We've tried again to get this stream working again, but unfortunately tonight it just wasn't to be. So hopefully, you know, you guys can check this out afterwards, and hopefully I've done a semi-good job as I can on my own. Meanwhile, I will now retire to enjoy my Waggle Dance honey beer of the evening. But meanwhile, I'll just scroll through the listings here. So we see Granty Boy takes P1, Chatty Duck second, Joseph Rados finishes off the podium. NUFC Fan Liam follows up in 4th, with Butters for Company in 5th, SRL Albert finishing 6th, Lanel Cam 7th, and James Punt in the second Mercedes in P8. Trem, the second Red Bull, earning those points. Wheeler, Butler, Vicky, Osborne, Patterson, and so on and so forth. Just scrolling through. Unfortunate to see the Williams of Mogi finishing down in P20 with a DNF. Only one DNF here in China. Let's hope we see plenty more races where there is some quality racing, some great battles all throughout tonight, and hopefully you'll all be able to catch up with them. So anyway, it's goodbye from me, and we shall see you next week, hopefully. I'm going to get on to Tom. We're going to go give BT a mouthful. Good night.